Full and uncut versions available on Patreon. Check in the description below.
Greetings once again, Pokemaniacs. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with more of the Pokemon Adventures manga. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, where previously it was a unfortunate loss for our heroes. Despite going up against the Team Galactic commanders, admins, whatever, none of our heroes were able to stop the detonation of the galactic bomb and the capture of the 3 lake guardians from each location. But thanks to Diamond's training with Riley, he was actually able to infiltrate the airship, taking away one of the lake guardians, unfortunately at the cost of leaving behind 2 of his Pokemon. But he saved his mom in the process, so there is that. He really got to strut his stuff, and he's ready to take it to Team Galactic inside of their very own base. Although, I'm interested to see how he does that. Speaking of training, the despondent Pearl is taken under the wing of Crasher Wake, who has him fill out his team with a more rounded roster, more or less, which you can see on the cover here. Not bad, all things considered. Electric, water, ground, flying, fire, normal. It's a pretty good lineup. And being told of the situation by Diamond's rescued mom, with her handing over the 2 Pokemon left behind, Pearl heads off in order to meet up with his good buddy, even actually managing to take down a platoon of Team Galactic grunts, something he was very much not able to do some time ago, showing that Crasher Wake's training and the filling out of his roster really did come in handy. The only one left is Platinum, who after stumbling upon a temple with a certain Gigas inside of it, she found herself at a Pokemon Center along with Candace and Maylene, who are fired up about not being able to overcome Jupiter of Team Galactic. And so they want training, some real training. And who's the best person to really give them the biggest crash course imaginable? Why, the strongest gym leader in all of Sinnoh, Volkner, who would just so happen to be the last badge that Platinum would need on her little journey. But with everything that's happened so far, will she be able to overcome this? The odds are stacked against our heroes. Maybe that'll just forge them into something that shines just a little bit more brilliant and brighter. So let's find out, shall we? Alright, we are hopping into Volume 8 of Pokemon Adventures, Diamond and Pearl / Platinum, aka Volume 37. And we're opening up with all of Pearl's current Pokemon, which include some of my favorites, which are Infernape and Luxray. And statistically, there's at least going to be one of my favorite Pokemon of the region in a protagonist team. I dread ever getting to the point where that's not the case. At least have a previous protagonist show up with some of my faves. But Pearl is racing into battle. Let's see how he does. All the commanders of Team Galactic are admins, except Charon. He doesn't really get pushed to the forefront as much as you would think. Yeah, look how crowded Pearl's section is with all of his Pokemon. Are they all males? Yeah, all male. Then there would be at least one female in his team. It would be funny if the Diglett was. Diamond's team is pretty, stacked, all things considered, but I'm interested to see how many more he gets. And then there's Platinum. Yes, man, get on it, Platinum. Fill out that roster. One of my favorite things about the Pokemon game is just gaining new Pokemon and seeing how you can make them work and vibe with the rest of your team. It's almost like an RPG. Alright, Chapter 68. Shorting out Electivire. Am I saying that right? Actually not sure. Okay, we pick up with Platinum, Candace, and Maylene heading out with their Pokemon. Them in some unknown area looking around. Platinum questions, "This is where we're supposed to meet him, right?" Candace says, "Right." Maylene notes, "He should be here." Then again, he never arrives on time. They're looking around, only for a voice to call out, "That's a fine way of introducing me, Maylene." She calls out, "Volkner!" He just lays him back with his Elekid and Raichu, saying, "Aye." He's just so cool. Platinum thinks to herself, so this is the man who's going to train us today. The one from Sunnyshore's City. Candace then whispers over to Maylene, "He actually got here early for once." Maylene says, "Yeah, Yeah, though he probably only got here early so he could just lounge about. Platinum thinks to herself, and he is the strongest gym leader in the entire Sinnoh region? Volkner gets up saying, so, where's this exciting enemy I'm supposed to battle? They'll say, what? Alien says, I think you misunderstood. He came here to train us. Volkner says, what? He then calls out for Raichu, who starts discharging a ton of electricity. Oh, yeah, he's using discharge. Oh, did he just stun lock the girls? What? Volkner goes to walk away saying, that's not what I was told. I'm out of here. Melee says, what? Candace shouts, Volkner, wait. What do you mean that's not what you were told? What were you told? Volkner, not even looking in their direction, says, Byron called me up to inform me that a powerful enemy has appeared in this area. Someone even Maylene and Candace together couldn't defeat. He asked me to pitch in. He wanted me to help them. So I figured I'd be facing this infamous powerful enemy here. I mean, that's what it sounded like, right? Candace shouts, that old geezer, he never explains anything. Yeah, I guess because Byron has a little bit of seniority. Although, think between Byron and Crasher Wake, Crasher Wake's a little too independent. Not to mention he's a very dedicated person to his gym and all that. Volkner waves him off saying, so all he wanted was for me to train you? You've got to be kidding. Candace says, wait, but a voice shouts, very booming, like, Volkner, you can't just leave. This real stops Volkner and stuns Candace and Maylene, as it's coming from Platinum, who says, I won't allow it. The piece of the Sinnoh region is at stake here. Volkner turns, asking, are you the new Eternia City gym leader? Or was it Hearthome City? Really? Platinum says, excuse me? While Candace shouts, are you kidding? No, she's just with us. Don't tell me you can't remember the other gym leaders in your region. Platinum introduces herself saying, my name is Platinum Berlitz. Volkner, I understand this is a letdown for you. It's true that the enemy defeated us. I can't blame you for thinking we're not worth your time. However, if you fight a Pokemon battle with me, I'll show you how strong the enemy is by fighting you with everything I've got. I'll demonstrate the enemy's power through battle. He gives a bow saying, so, shall we fight? Volkner gives a bit of a sneer. And, naturally to his character, sits down. I just can't get over that. It's like he's either just getting up or he's sitting back down. There is rarely an in-between for this man. To see him stand for too long is to see an anomaly in the Matrix, an error in the Pokemon game coding. He says, that's an interesting proposal. It would kill some time at least. And the Elekid goes dashing in. Candace and Maylene think to each other, she managed to prevent Volkner from leaving and convince him to fight her. Platinum says thank you very much and sends out her Rapidash, Lopunny, and Empoleon, which, weren't they already out? Oh well. She says, Lopunny, Focus Blast. And Lopunny does just that, with Elekid dodging it along the way. Getting in close and using Focus Punch to knock Lopunny for a loop. Volkner asks, what do you think of my Elekid? Check out his fancy footwork as we see Elekid dancing around the down Lopunny like a freaking boxer, like, go. Volkner asks, how was your opponent's footwork? Was it fast? Agile? Platinum says, very. She had a Sableye that used Shadow Sneak and always managed to attack before we could. And Shadow stretched everywhere, and at times it even attacks from behind. Like this. And suddenly Lopunny's behind Elekid, and Platinum tells it to use Dizzy Punch. Elekid is down. And Volkner goes into full gamer mode, leaning in a little bit, saying, how about this? The enemy's defense, as he has Raichu use Light Screen. Platinum sends in Empoleon, having it use Blizzard, which is blocked by Light Screen naturally. Platinum explains, her defense was ironclad. Her Gastrodon was very tough, and it kept shooting mud bombs at us and our Pokemon to block their moves. Once we were stuck in the mud, there was nothing we could do, as we see Raichu start to get frozen over. Volkner, with a much more serious look in his eyes, says, I see. Raichu munches down on a berry, managing to escape from the freeze effect, and then unleashes a Thunderbolt at Volkner's command, which naturally downs Empoleon. Oh, What the heck? Volkner pulls a little holder out of his pocket that holds one Pokeball in it, but it's a 2-slot holder. He says, well then, what about her most important power? How was that? As he brings out Electivire. Platinum's last Pokemon is Rapidash. And she says, her main Pokemon is a Tangrowth. Each vine that stretched out of its body moved like an arm, and the vines were incredibly powerful too. Volkner smiled, saying, incredibly powerful, huh? How powerful exactly? This powerful? As he has Electivire go rushing in right above Rapidash and has it use Thunder Punch, which creates a massive explosion. As the dust settles, Volkner says, Platinum says, no, far stronger than that. Volkner, with a more serious look, says, what? As Platinum says, my Rapidash is still standing. And yes, we see Rapidash still on his feet. Volkner notes this. As Platinum explains, that's how strong she was. Her name is Jupiter. She introduced herself as one of Team Galactic's commanders. Also, the commander grew up in a city with a lot of sunshine. Wait, what? Candace questions, really? How do you know that? Platinum explains, saying, after you two lost consciousness and Uxie was taken away, Jupiter said, we flash back to Jupiter telling Platinum, now I can finally get away from all this snow. I don't like snow. I wish I lived in a city where it's sunny all the time, like our commander grew up. So making it sound like potentially Cyrus knew Volkner? Volkner ponders this for a moment, saying, Team Galactic. He smiles and looks to the girl, saying, sounds like an interesting group, but for the time being, I'm more interested in you, Platinum. You lost our battle, but you remember all the moves of the enemy Pokemon, their characteristics, how they attack, and even what your opponent said. Platinum smiles right back at him, saying, I couldn't win the battle, but at least I managed to learn something from it. Oh, snap! Oh, snap! Okay. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, this really does show the strength of her journey. She's learned to take in everything, whether it be victory or failure, which is very important. Volkner chuckles. I like you. He finally gets up, saying, all right, let's keep fighting until one of us wins. Platinum questions, pardon? Volkner tells her, we'll continue this battle, and you can make even one of my Pokemon faint. I'll give you this, proof that you defeated me, the Beacon Badge. Platinum questions, but why? Volkner points to her, saying, your scarf. You got 7 Sinnoh badges already. Don't you want to get your hands on an 8th? This battle will be your gym battle, as well as training for you. Candace and Maylene say, you beat it, Volkner? He tells them, yep, and after Platinum and I are finished, I'll battle each of you. First Candace, then Maylene. Candace and Maylene, join hands, saying, yeah! So now it's Volkner's Electivire against Platinum's Empoleon, with Maylene and Candace cheering from the side. Maylene says, that's it. Candace says, you're doing well, Platinum. Go, go. And so they continue their fight. I guess they have some potions on hand. All right, that's what's up. I actually kind of like that. Really getting to see, because with everything that Platinum's been through, I like that she's showing that, I've already grown stronger from that loss, strong enough that I'm already a match for the strongest gym leader. I will admit, though, that's an interesting proposal, though. It's not so much defeat him, but take down even one of my Pokemon. Like that. Dang, that really is saying something. Oh, wow, I didn't realize they were in such close vicinity to each other. Interesting. Okay, so no reason they shouldn't be meeting up soon. Well, there's plenty of reason, but still, I would hope they meet up soon. Alright, chapter 69. Nice. Halting Honchkrow. Narration picks up. Route 214. Pearl is marching towards enemy territory. Team Galactic has stationed grunts on every road connecting to Veilstone City. Pearl, who now has 6 Pokemon on his team, has managed to defeat the grunts one by one, but we have Pearl looking through some binoculars, saying, the gate to the city sure is heavily guarded. There's no way I'll make it down to their headquarters if I face all of them. Oh no, man, you've been kind of cutting a swath through them so far. Watching from a cave, he says, the city is right there in front of me, but I'm stuck in this cave. If only there was some way to divert their attention, so I could sneak into the city and their headquarters unobserved. Suddenly there's a tugging at a scarf. He turns going, huh? Oh, it's the unknown, the DMP unknown. He says, oh, hi. You two again. Unknown, the symbol Pokemon. In fact, you're the two unknown who asked us to for help back at Salacian Town. Flaky and Grumpy. Those names. What are you two doing in this cave? I thought you lived in the Salacian ruin. They point and pull him towards a specific location, showing off a crumbling in the cave. It says, oh, this wall. Looks like it crumbled recently. Huh? I wonder. Just as I thought. This cave is east of the Salacian ruins, and they're connected? I get it. The hole got made in that ruin, which created a passageway to this cave. That must have been that galactic bomb that did it 2 days ago. The two unknown nod. Pearl then says, are your other friends from the ruins safe too? They send out a signal and call in all the bevy of other unknown. Like, my God. No, I'm still not used to the unknown being, quite so friendly. Usually they're a bit more of a mystery or kind of intimidating, but they're kind of cool here. Pearl sees all of them say, they're safe all right. Oh, there sure are a lot of you. The two unknown then gesture to the building and to themselves. Pearl says, do you mean you want to help me break into Veilstone City? Suddenly the unknown come rushing out right towards the grunts of Team Galactic and start unleashing their attacks overhead. See, now that's what I'm used to with the unknown. Just a wave of them coming in and just effing everybody's in. Like, my God. They're just cutting a swath through these galactic grunts. My goodness. And Pearl, the friends you make. My God. Pearl continues watching with his binoculars saying, perfect. They're bombarding the grunts with hidden power. Now's our chance. Taller. That name is really tripping me up. Pearl jumps on his Taurus and goes riding into the action, crashing through all the remaining grunts and their Pokemon. As he says, charge! He then brings out the rest of his Pokemon, who all go racing in as well. My God, Pearl has turned into an action hero. He says, all right, we made it inside the city. Everybody get ready. As he comes upon the building, it says, wow, Veilstone City at night, just like before. Quick, let's head over to the enemy headquarters in the Galactic Veilstone City building. Now's our chance to save the will-powered Pokemon they captured at Lake Valor. Let's go. But Chatot gets a good look at the literal army right outside. Like, my God. Drowsy and Mankey and Hitmonchan. Pearl says the entrance to the building is heavily guarded too, right? Chatot says, guard it. Ah. But here come the unknown in their horde mode. Pearl calls out, I'll ask the unknown to take care of that. Follow me. I've got a hunch as to where we can enter the building. I've been thinking. The last time we were in Veilstone City, Dia got attacked by Team Galactic grunts in the lost and found office of the entertainment district. Oh, right. Where did they come in from? Pearl says, it was locked from the outside. So how did the Team Galactic grunts get in? I think one of them said something like, and he remembers the elite grunt saying, the lost and found office belongs to me. And Pearl says, which means this office must be connected to the Galactic Veilstone City building somehow. Do it, Taller. And Taurus just busts down the door. Shoot. Better hope there's no cameras around. As Pearl and his Pokemon search around the lost and found building, Weasel comes upon a button and boops it with its snoot. The passage opens as Pearl says, found it. A secret passage. Yeah, as the shelf just slides out of place. As Pearl heads in, he looks back out to the just destruction the unknown are causing as he says, I owe you one, Grumpy and Flaky. I wish I were part of a duo like you two. It would make things so much easier if I had a partner at a time like this. And it says, wait, I do have a partner. And if Dia's mother is correct, he's somewhere in this very building. We just have to find him. He goes racing inside, though he also, goes from corner to corner, hiding as best he can. He then hands over 2 Pokeballs to Chatot, saying, I don't know what'll happen to me once the battle starts, so there's something I want you to do for me, Chatler. These 2 Pokeballs have Truant in them. Dia is somewhere in this building. Find him and give them to him. Chatot says, find him. Ah. And so Pearl comes out of his hiding place saying, now, let's go. Meanwhile, with Cyrus and the elite grunt, it seems the red chain has been formed. A literal chain in red. Cyrus says, no. That's the elite grunt who says, the red chain. We have one, so we may begin now. Cyrus says, how beautiful. Such an unearthly red color. But suddenly there's some kind of message on the monitor behind him. He turns up, goes up to it and axes it saying, what's all that noise coming from? What's going on? The commanders are on the monitor now. Jupiter saying, boss, someone has broken through the grunt stationed at the Route 214 gate, and they've begun fighting in front of the building entrance. Do you want us to go and join in? Tara says, no. No need to bother with that. We've got bigger priority. I want you three to go to Mount Cornet and wait for me there. I'll leave as soon as both chains are ready. We'll meet in front of the spear pillar on the mountain's peak. Jupiter with a smile says, Roger. Roger, Commander. No, Saturn with a smile says, Roger, Commander. Jupiter just turns away, like on her heels, just whoop, while Mars says, okay. Meanwhile, Charon is walking away himself, thinking, now then, I'd better be on my way myself. The elite grunt says, shall I carry the red chain? Tyra says, yes, do. But suddenly there's an explosion right behind him, taking out one of the walls. Oh! Cynthia says, finally found you. Cyrus. Oh, she ain't playing around. This makes me think of, what was it? Was it Pokemon Generations or Evolution? Yeah, it was Generations, where you had Lance just cutting a swath through Team Rocket at the Lake of Rage. He just, I ain't come to play, son. Cynthia says, finally found you. Cyrus. Cyrus turns, asking, who are you? Oh, God, that's so intimidating. And Cynthia's Garchomp enters through the opening. Gotta get Garchomp in there. Cynthia says, you move in the shadows and hardly show yourself. Chasing after your minions is pointless. I had to wait for you to make a move yourself. I'll take this opportunity to thank you for creating this wonderful opportunity for me. My name is Cynthia. I researched the mythology of the Sinnoh region. Cyrus barely says anything before unleashing his Honchkrow. Though Cynthia's already... did Cynthia unleash Spiritomb? That's her Spiritomb, right? I think so. Regardless, Cynthia's pissed. Shouldn't have messed with her grandma. Shouldn't have messed with her grandma, dog. Okay, I love that they're even showing where in the Galactic Veilstone building both Diamond and Pearl are. Diamond's on one of the upper floors, while Pearl's only on the lower floor. Meanwhile, Platinum's still... Wait, she already has the badge! Okay, spoiler alert, Platinum has her badge now. I'm just looking through, it's like, wait, she already has a badge. Well, dang. I guess she really put what she learned from her defeat from Jupiter to the test, because, gosh. Then again, like I said before, he only said defeat, take out one of my Pokemon. He didn't say take out all my Pokemon, so there is that. Alright, now Chapter 70. Chancing upon Chingling. Or Chingling. I always want to say Ching-a-ling, but it's Chingling. Chingling into battle, go! We cut to elsewhere in the Galactic Veilstone building with Dia. A grunt is awkwardly stomping through the hall as Diamond peeks out with Munchlax and Shieldon. He whispers, I'm counting on you, Lax. Munchlax, jumps up and gives a stomp with a lot of berries popping out of its fur. Diamond says, now, as he and Shieldon roll the berries into the grunt's path, which... it's a comedic pratfall as he just trips on the berries, clonking his head. Diamond, like friggin' Hitman, friggin' just drags the body into a supply closet, closes the door, things rustle around, and now he's in the dude's outfit, using what I have to assume is a mop head in order to, give the similar appearance to the hair. He comes out with his Pokemon saying, okay, hope this works. I hope. He then sees a platoon of Team Galactic grunts. He thinks to himself, now's my chance. Recalls Munchlax and Shieldon, and as they come marching by, he goes into the alignment, trying to mask himself. He thinks, just like I thought, they're not paying any attention to each other. As long as I move exactly the same way as them, they won't even notice me. I have to find out where those legendary lake Pokemon are being held captive. Metal Gear Diamond. Meanwhile, we pick up with Platinum, just dashing on Rapidash, as we see that she does in fact have the beacon badge now. As she thinks to herself, Volkner and Maylene and Candace. We flash back to Volkner telling Platinum, here's your beacon badge as promised, as we see his Electivire is down. Oh, it also looks like Raichu didn't make it out too well either. Okay, shoot. Platinum says, thank you very much. Candace says, you did it, Platinum. You've gathered all 8 badges from all 8 gym leaders. Maylene says, congratulations. Volkner then asks, what are you going to do now? Platinum tells him, I'm going to Veilstone City. I have to save Uxie, the knowledge Pokemon. Kenneth says, well then, it's a goodbye for now. Maylene says, Volkner promised he'd train us after you. Candace holds Platinum's hand, saying, don't push yourself too hard. Aw, they all join. I love the friendship. That's so cute. I feel like we haven't seen like a solid kind of friendship like this amongst, some of the gym leaders and our protagonists for a good while now. Maylene says, if we meet up again, we'll face Team Galactic and Jupiter once more. While Candace says, and this time, the new and improved, not dressed appropriately for the Weather Girl trio is going to beat them. Aww. So as Platinum arrives in the city, she says, we've arrived. Veilstone City. I think that building with all the spikes is Team Galactic's headquarters. And it says, wow, this is, and she sees all the grunts and their Pokemon facing the Horde of Unknown. Platinum says, as she recalls Rapidash, looks like I'll be able to sneak into the building under cover of all this chaos. She does bring out Lockbunny, saying, let's go, Lockbunny. She makes her way to the nearest entrance. As she gets inside, she says, phew, you made it inside. Meanwhile, Diamond keeps making it higher and higher. He's almost at the top floor. He says, uh-oh, they're splitting up into 3 directions. Which group should I go with? To the training room, to the planning room, or the elevator? I doubt the Pokemon from the lakes would be in any of those places. Uh-oh. Now all the grunts are looking at him. He says, uh-oh. Well, he thinks to himself, uh-oh, I did one little thing differently. Yeah, you stop to ponder. All the grunts start marching in on him, backing him into a corner as he says, hey, watch out. He then steps on a teleporter pad, and he's whisked off. He goes, huh? Oh, this is a totally different place from where I was a second ago. How? He then looks down, saying, is it because I stepped onto this? Figures. Every base ends up having teleporter pads. These things are all over the place. He then steps on another pad and is teleported to a whole bunch of other grunts. Though he's behind a crate, thankfully. Whoa, neat. Well, he thinks to himself, neat. This must be some sort of teleportation panel to help you move around the building more quickly. I could find the 3 legendary Pokemon really fast with these. But if I end up porting into a room full of grunts? What if I end up porting into a room full of grunts? Yeah, exactly. He brings out his Pokeball saying, what should I do? Don? Lax? Right, I don't have time to think this through. Okay, I'll just step on the next panel I see and go. Take me to the 3 legendary Pokemon. Go. And suddenly he's, goes face to face with Chatot, who's also freaking out. Diamond says, the enemy. And Chatot says, enemy. And they both go, huh? Diamond hugs Chatot saying, Chatler. Chatot says, yeah, Diamond. What is the joke with that? I don't understand. It is funny, though. Diamond says, Chatler, what are you doing here? And Chatot shows the Pokeballs with Torterra and Lickitung in it. Oh, Licky in it. Diamond says, oh, true, Kit. You brought them to me. Chatot says, brought them? Diamond says, woohoo! And brings out all of his Pokemon saying, we're finally all together again, now. But a figure behind him says, now what? The elite grunt approaches saying, now you can have a proper battle with any powerful enemy who happens to cross paths with you. Is that what you are about to say? Diamond is at the ready, though, as the elite grunt says, the last time we met was at the Lost and Found office. Are you searching for the room that holds the 3 legendary lake Pokemon, perchance? If so, they're in that room over there. Why would you tell him that? Is this an overconfidence thing, or is there more to his role within Team Galactic? Diamond says, experiment lab? What are you doing to them? The elite grunt says, nothing. They're just sleeping at the moment. That's why I can't let you inside. As he brings out his Chingling, Staraptor. That is a Staraptor, right? Yep, Staraptor. And Gibble. Freaking Gibble. He tells Chingling to use Uproar, which overwhelms Licky and Shieldon. He has Gibble use Dragon Rush against Torterra and Munchlax. And he has Staravia use Brave Bird against Licky and Shieldon as well. The elite grunt says, our experiment has already succeeded. We have extracted the crystal out of all 3 Pokemon to create a red chain. But we need 2 chains total. And to do that, we need more crystals. Before we can extract them, we need to wait until they've recovered their strength. Having this says, I have no idea what you guys are planning to do with those crystal chains. But if you're doing mean things to those 3 Pokemon, I'm gonna stop you. Okay? Diamond's like, square up. The elite grunt says, you are you? but your Pokemon are already out of breath from that short battle. What can you do all by yourself? Suddenly, Diamond hears a beeping. He turns, thinking, that sound is very faint, but I hear it. That's the sound we heard every morning when all three of our Pokédexes were near each other. That's right. The Chatler's here. That must mean Pearl is nearby too. And if the Pokédex is beeping, not just Pearl, the lady too. I'm not alone. They're nearby in this building. They're both here. Oh, man, I never realized that could be a plot point. As Diamond looks towards his Pokédex, the elite grunt spots it saying, "Ha the Pokédex. Exactly the item I've been wanting to get my hands on." If CERN is involved with Team Galactic, is that why he wanted the Pokédex? That would make sense. Information on a bevy of Pokemon, and they were trying to get information about the history of the town that has statues dedicated to Dialga and Palkia, and I know that the red chains are for capturing those two Pokemon, but would the Pokédex have information on Dialga and Palkia? I wonder. Oh, okay, so here's the layout. Oh, see, the ones in the actual manga, Diamond looked like he was on a floor higher, but now he's back on the floor he was on previously. Oh, then again, the teleporter pad must have teleported him back to a previous floor. That's entirely possible. Freaking hate those teleporter pads. But he's on the same floor as Pearl, which explains why Chatot was able to find him, maybe? Meanwhile, Platinum is still just at the entrance. Interesting. The heat is on. Alright, and the last chapter of this video, chapter 71, hightailing it from Haunter. Love me a Haunter. The elite grunt says, "That's what I want. I haven't been able to get it out of my mind since I first saw it at the Lost and Found office. It reveals the characteristics of each Pokemon you meet. Its territory, size, cry, and even ability. What a splendid piece of technology. How does a mere child come by such a high-tech device? That also caught my interest. Big time." Diamond recoils a little as the elite grunt says, "So I use every Team Galactic intelligent network at my disposal to gather information about this device, about this Pokédex. It was co-developed by Professor Oak, the National Authority on Pokemon, and Professor Rowan, an authority on Pokemon evolution." Oh, okay. Oh, yo, it's all the holders. I know it's just a glorified cameo, but something about seeing all our, seeing them all like that. It's like just seeing old friends, man. That's all it is. The elite grunt says, "The boys and girls who have been given Pokédexes are called Pokédex holders and set out on journeys to gather information on Pokemon." Staraptor then rushes in, knocking back Diamond and his Pokemon. Oh, Staraptor, Gibble. I don't know if Chingling went in too. Diamond hits the wall as the grunt approaches him, saying, "And they don't just gather information. Many of the past Pokédex holders have fought in great battles that shook their region. As if the Pokédex holders are destined for great things." Not wrong. You got Team Rocket and the Mask of Ice situation with Ho-Oh and Lugia. You got Teams Aqua and Plasma with Archie and Maxie, with Kyogre and Groudon. The grunt says, "These three special dexes make up one set, and when they are within range of each other, they resonate and make a unique sound." Yeah, Diamond doesn't have a good feeling about this, so he sends in Licky Licky, telling it, "Kit, Power Whip!" And Licky Licky does just that, with that incredible tug of it, knocking Staraptor into Gibble, into the elite grunt, and just Chingling flies away too. Diamond says, "Do it again!" and has it use Ring Out, wrapping up the elite grunt, Staraptor, Chingling, and Gibble. Yeah, caught you slipping. Diamond then rushes over, thinking, I didn't know how amazing my Pokédex was, and I don't get all that stuff about Destiny and whatnot. But the important thing right now, as he goes to the experiment lab and doors open, he sees the Lake Guardian trio, who seem to be, not looking so hot. He says, "It's to stop the suffering of those legendary Pokemon. How can you do something like this? I'll save you." But before he can fully enter, the grunt is on him, tackling him and shoving him to the ground. The grunt says, "We need more time to extract the crystal. I cannot allow you to interfere with the process." Diamond says, "True, Lax, Kit, Dawn, ignore the enemy's Pokemon and run into the lab." And they all do just that. The elite grunt says, "Don't let them enter. Join the others and stop them." Oh, he sends in a Haunter and... What is that? Did it start with a G? Oh no, Kraydilly. Yeah, there we go. Kraydilly, that's the name. The advanced grunt. Staraptor, Gibble, Chingaling, Haunter, Kraydilly, they all unleash powerful attacks all upon the Pokemon who are all on the run. None turn except Shieldon, who turns on his heel and blocks the entirety of their attacks all by itself. The advanced grunt says, "You're attempting to block the attacks of 5 Pokemon single-handedly? That's insane!" And as Diamond calls out to Shieldon, "Is it gonna evolve?" Diamond's Pokedex continues to beep louder and louder. On the 3rd floor, Pearl says with a very bemused weasel, "That's the sound of it's beeping. They must be in this building. DN lady, luck is on my side. I had no idea where to look in this huge building, but now." Meanwhile, with Platinum, with her lock buddy, she says, "That sound. The sound we used to hear every morning." She looks around saying, "Diamond and Pearl, they're here too. The sound of the Pokedex will guide me. All I have to do is move in the direction of the sound as it gets louder." And they both say, "And I'll find them." But as Shieldon continues to try to block, the advanced grunt says, "Looks like it's at its limit. It's going to be blown away any minute now." But in that instant, Shieldon digs deep and begins to shiver and evolve, much to the shock of the grunt and Diamond. It evolves into Bastiodon! I am not a big fan of the way that Bastiodon looks, but I know that it is very capable. Bastiodon just looks so doofy to me. That's the thing. Must have hit level 30. The grunt says it became a Bastiodon. And it says Don evolved as Bastiodon manages to knock away the incredible blast hitting it. The grunt says Middle Burst. An attack reflects damage back at its opponents. Nice. Diamond tells Bastiodon to go, and use Iron Head, which it uses to lift up several of the grunt's Pokemon up into the ceiling. Dang, nice. Meanwhile, Munchlax just does a freaking dive kick on the advanced grunt, getting him off of Diamond. Diamond and the other Pokemon come over, hugging up on Bastiodon as Diamond says, "Good job, Don." He then looks on Bastiodon's back saying, "You're holding the metal coat I was given at Iron Island. Your power and steel type moves have gotten stronger too. Okay, now's our chance." As he rushes past the unconscious advanced grunt, he goes over to Misprit, saying, "Misprit, are you okay?" But he continues to hear the peeping of the Pokedex, thinking the sounds are getting louder. Pearl and Lady must be really close now. He then looks over to see the advanced grunt starting to come to, thinking, but that grunt knew more about the sound of the Pokedex than I did. He'll realize the other 2 Pokedex are coming this way. What if he waits for Lady to get here and takes her hostage? Diamond thinks long and hard about it. But Chatot comes over. No, Chatot's also pondering. Diamond whispers over to Chatot, "Chatler, can you cover up the sound of the Pokedex so we won't hear it?" Chatot repeats, "Cover up, what?" And just starts chattering up a storm, only for Tingling to start trying to unleash his own cry. But with the grunt caught in the middle, he's just like, "Ah, my head!" He says, "Chatot's chatter versus Chingling's uproar. It's an ultrasonic battle. My head feels like it's gonna explode." But as he's clutching his head, he accidentally backs up into a button, hitting it with his elbow. Yeah, this releases some kind of gas. Is this like fire retardant, or I'm not sure, but it fills the entire room that they're all in. Pearl thinks to himself, "I've arrived. Judging from the intensity of the Pokedex sound, he must be somewhere on this floor." While Platinum thinks, "But what's going on?" They both say, "Can't see a thing." The grunt, seeing what he's done, says, "Ah, nuts!" Push the emergency button. The fog in the air is from the fire extinguisher system. It is. And just when the lake Pokemon were about to produce another crystal, I have to report this to Commander Cyrus. He gets on his Pokedeer calling out, "Commander Cyrus! Commander Cyrus!" But Cyrus, he kind of has his hands full. Oh, and that's the end. That's been pretty fun. It was nice to actually see Volkner. He was a pretty good dude. I really hope to see him in actual battle. And the raid on the Team Galactic HQ, man, that went by a lot faster than I actually thought, which was actually pretty fun, but it's the mad dash of things. The Lake Guardian trio are captured, we gotta get in there, freaking Rambo style, just rush them. And I love how them all just having their separate ideas for how to do this all result in them kind of individually succeeding at the same time too. But that advanced grunt, he's a creep. What a creepo. What does he want with the Pokédex? I know it's a very capable item, but man, this level of obsession is just wild. It almost feels like there's definitely more to this guy than what it seems. More than just a grunt in a cloak, or even just a grunt who's just on the ground floor when it comes to a lot of plans and all that. Like, nah. Is he teamed up with CERN? Maybe, but is there a different objective than what Cyrus is after when it comes to them? Because it feels that way, especially the way the grunt just keeps giving away all this information. Like, does he want to succeed or not? I can't wait to see how much more everyone ends up growing from this encounter. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din and hope to see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.